Avery Bradley is elected to sit out the NBA restart, and J.R. Smith is rumored to be going to the Lakers. Will it make the NBA championship less legit this year if a bunch of key players sit out?
A little less legit, maybe, but the chaos of this reality show is something that I'm really rooting for, because this entire season is going to have an asterisk anyway. Every sports season that is going to happen will have a massive asterisk. So all I'm going for is the reality show component at this point. And yes, there are legit players who are contemplating. They're like 50-50 right now on whether they're going to go in. That's Lou Williams. They're also like Bogdanoviches, who are already on the record saying, no, I don't want any part of this, like Avery Bradley, who had concerns about the medical condition of his son. But LeBron James, the thing about him to realize here, because J.R. Smith is the guy the internet would want to give LeBron James at this moment, just know LeBron James, if he gets J.R. Smith, it's because LeBron James wants J.R. Smith. And the idea of a desperate, hungry LeBron looking around the vast wasteland of the NBA and realizing that he has to pair up with that dude again, that is something that I will absolutely watch every second of.
Also, LeBron, Jeremy Lin. He's out there. Pablo, he's out there.
Yeah.
So this feels really weird, right? Because there's this news about these players who are opting out for health reasons. And our immediate question is, what does it mean for the playoffs? Which is extremely strange and macabre. And if you think that's macabre, wait until the playoffs actually begin and players have to opt out because they're testing positive in every sport. And we're going to talk about how it affects lineups and fantasy and betting lines. That is the weird Faustian bargain we have made in 2020. It is what it is. I don't think it reduces the legitimacy of the champion by that much, unless it's a legitimate star. And with all due respect to Avery Bradley, I do think he is replaceable, right? Unlike, say, a Jokic or a Brogdon. Shout out to Alex Caruso. But I will argue that if LeBron James wins the championship in this environment, it's actually more legitimate than a normal championship. Not because of the loss of players, but because of the gain of them. Okay, imagine being in a bubble with J.R. Smith and Dion Waiters. That is like being the designated driver at a bachelor party the last 2 months. MJ was never quarantined with Rodman. This is a notch on LeBron's belt, Stu.
I like the listen, it's already tainted. It's already a tainted title for these reasons, okay? When has LeBron ever had 3 to 4 months to physically get ready for an NBA playoff run? That has never been the case. And we know LeBron is going to be in peak physical condition because window is closing and LeBron is banking on no one else being in peak physical condition. But you also sprinkle in the fact that there are no fans, there are no home court advantage. He doesn't have to win a big game 6 on the road. But I do like the idea of LeBron James going through the Lakers roster and saying to himself, don't want him, let's convince him to stay home. Because I believe that's what he did with Avery Bradley, convinced him to stay home. Didn't have to convince him, just told him, hey, you're staying home, I'm taking J.R. Smith. I imagine there will be something of the equivalent of like basketball. Did I say that? I just said it. Standing outside the bubble, waiting to offer their services to LeBron James. Like I could see Mario Chalmers outside of the bubble, pitching to LeBron, hey, do you need a guy here to hit a big 3 or a guy to blame if you don't win a big game? I can see Karl Malone and John Stockton outside of they won a title.
They're like 50 years old, Stu Gatz.
To LeBron James and coaches too. Because some of these coaches might get COVID, and then who's outside the bubble pitching services? Stan Van Gundy. I mean, the whole thing is tainted and awesome, and whoever wins, you didn't really win.
I was listening, and I was trying to pick up on every word, but I was also so distracted by his hand, because it was so close.
I know.
Have you seen Arrival, the movie where the aliens come in and they make like ink blotch handprints on them?
Yeah, I have. It's good. Yeah.
You have not seen Arrival.
I actually have seen Arrival.
Give us one scene from Arrival. Just one scene. Give us anything.
Yeah, so Amy Adams, great movie. She's a scientist, and this weird spaceship lands on Earth, and she is sent to figure out what they want because nobody can tell. And she realizes she's like a linguist, not a scientist, right? Linguist. She figures out how to communicate with them. But then she gets access to their time travel abilities, and spoiler alert, finds out her kid's gonna die, and it's like a whole thing.
Pablo, you think you've seen the movie?
That's a pretty good summary, honestly.
Is it?
I think Mina's actually seen it.
I still think she hasn't seen it.
I have. I've actually seen Arrival. It's really good.
Listen, I am scarred from the countless times you have told me
I
you've seen
know.
Point Break and then revealed
I
to me.
don't blame you.